Tamtam is a type of Chinese gong with a flat surface. The photo shows a large instrument you would see in an orchestra. Let's listen how it sounds like. How many seconds does this recording last? 18 seconds. What is the instrument playing with the tamtam in the recording? How many tamtams notes can you hear? Let's listen. So what's the other one? The piano. How many times? 3. Here is the picture of a large tamtam. Near the end, the musician plays the tamtam in a very unusual way. How does the player do it? You can listen again. A live performance.
When you're ready to play the tamtam, make sure that it's standing at least a few feet away from the back wall. You're going to want to find the ideal playing spot on the instrument. And although it's slightly different on every instrument, so you have to do a little bit of experimentation, generally the best sound is when you play just off the center of the instrument. Even though it looks like a gigantic bullseye, you almost never want to play directly in the center of the tamtam. Because the tamtam is such a large instrument, sometimes you need to warm it up before you play it. All that means is you tap very, very lightly and audibly to get the instrument vibrating before you actually play it. A typical stroke used to play the tamtam is a nice slow stroke using a lot of the arm. The most important thing is you want to use the weight of the mallet to do most of the work. To muffle the tamtam, you want to squeeze it between this hand and your leg. You want to make sure that you're not wearing any buttons or chains or anything else that's going to rattle as you're trying to muffle the instrument. You can either muffle the instrument slowly by adding a little bit more of your hand and leg over the course of a few seconds. if you need to, you can muffle the instrument very quickly. In order to do this, you have to exert a lot of force. You have to really press the tam-tam between your hand and leg to try and get as much of your leg on the instrument as possible. If you're asked to roll on the tam-tam, it's always best to use 2 beaters. Another typical problem is maybe you're in a band program and you've only got 1 tam-tam beater. Well, even if you can get away with rolling on a tam-tam with 1 beater at a low dynamic level, anything above about a mezzo piano, you're going to start to hear each individual stroke, and it just won't sound even. To roll, you're going to play on either side of the instrument. You don't want to play in the same beating area on opposite sides of the instrument. You want the mouths to be slightly offset from one another. When you're done rolling on the tam-tam and you're going to muffle it, you want to make sure that you use your hand, but don't let any of the mallet hit the instrument as you're muffling. The typical problem with inexperienced players is they think of the tam-tam as an instrument that they don't have to practice. And while you certainly don't have to practice as much as you practice the snare drum or the timpani, you definitely want to play a few notes before your first rehearsal or concert to get used to the instrument.
Tambourine is like a small drum with a single skin. What other instrument can you hear in the recording? Piano. Listen to the recording. What happened to the volume? It gets gradually louder. What spatial playing technique can you hear? Shake. Let's listen another example. A live performance. Here, information about the tambourine.
Hi, I'm Greg Janiscoli, and I am going to play the tambourine excerpt from the All-State auditions for New Jersey. There is a lot going on in these 2 little lines of music, and if you want to see what this looks like, go to CJMEA.
The triangle consists of a single metal bar bent into a triangle shape. How many triangle notes can you hear before the first law starts? Let's listen to how it sounds like. 3. Here another example of triangle. What happens if you touch the triangle straight after it has been hit? It stops the sound.
In this segment, we're going to talk about triangles. Triangles range in size from about 4 inches to about 12 inches. The most typical size is 6 to 9 inches. When selecting a triangle, you want to find one that has a lot of overtones, so you get this shimmery kind of sound. Nothing with too clean of a tone, anything that's too direct in its sound. Now, another really important part of playing a triangle, of course, is having a great clip. When selecting a clip, you want to find one where the triangle is not going to hang too low, because then it'll spin and be very difficult to play. You want to make sure that what you're suspending the triangle with is either a nylon string or a fishing line. That way you're not dampening the resonance of the triangle. It's also a great idea to have 2 loops of the nylon string or fishing line in case one of them breaks during a concert or rehearsal. Then you've got one for backup. When selecting a triangle beater, it's a good idea to have a variety of different sizes at your disposal. Thinner triangle beaters are able to play softer, while thicker triangle beaters are able to play louder and also activate more of the overtones of the instrument. Now let's talk about how to play the triangle. First, let's figure out how to hold it. Now, you're going to hold the clip while you're playing by making a C with your hand and putting your thumb on one side of the clip and your fingers on the other side. Put one index finger on top of the clip to make it a little bit more stable. When you're putting the triangle in the clip, make sure that if you're playing with your right hand, the opening of the triangle is facing to your left. Typically, when playing the triangle, you're going to want to play on this bottom side. As with any other percussion instrument, you're going to want to do a lot of experimenting. Find where the best sound is for whatever music that you're playing. Maybe it's on the bottom, closer to the corner. Maybe it's on a different side of the triangle. Another really important part about playing the triangle is knowing how to muffle it. You're going to muffle with the same hand that you're holding the triangle clip. You just close your fingers, and that'll stop the sound of the triangle. Now, characteristically, the best sound for muffling a triangle is something that's a little bit more gradual, even if it's a quick muffle. It's not always a good idea to just grab the triangle. It's not a very characteristic sound. If you're called upon to play fast articulate passages or rolls, you can often do it with just one beater by playing on the bottom and the side edge.